Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're just going to be doing a get ready with me. I'm going to be using some new to me products and some products that I enjoy. I really just wanted to focus on some chit chat about some stuff that is going around or on in the beauty community. So everything I do use will be linked below just in case you're interested in it, or just in case I forget to say what I'm using, because that really just seems like something that I would do. Well, my hair looks disgusting. Literally, it's Sunday. Only thing on my to-do list today is cleaning the house and washing my hair. So yeah, I thought we would just play with some makeup while we chat and get me all glam to clean my house. The first thing I'm going to start with is I'm going to reach into my Natasha Denona Star Palette. And I'm just going to take this shade here and I'm going to use it as the setting shade for this look. It does kind of look like it has a pinky undertone, but I don't think it'll be too dark. Hopefully not. We shall see. But yeah, anyways, I just wanted to catch up on some stuff going on in the beauty community. Some of it is already like old news. Some of it is more recent news. I did just kind of want to touch on the Morphe situation a little bit. We've seen several articles now that, you know, they closed their brick and mortar stores. And I don't know. I really didn't think it was that surprising. And I kind of want to hear like your guys' thoughts as well, because I mean, I have not supported Morphe in, I don't know, say like 2-3 years now. So it's been a while. I'm gonna go in with the Natasha Pastel Palette. This is my first time using it, so I'm really excited. And I'm just gonna go in with this shade Feather here all over to kind of build that up. But yeah, I had not been supporting them for a while, but I still didn't feel like the announcement was really that shocking. I don't know. I just feel like Morphe, they weren't able to evolve or, you know, transition like what they do. I mean, they paired a lot of their bigger collabs in the beginning were with super problematic influencers, which I know that those did well in the beginning until a lot of people found out all of the tea behind everything. Like, I don't know, Jay Star, James Charles, Jaclyn Hill being a really big one. And then they, more recently, it was like Nikita Dragon, more recently, like a year and a half ago. But they just had this habit of like collaborating with really problematic people. And I think that that was like a big indication of like where the brand was going, because I feel like the beauty community as a whole really kind of woke up and stood up for, you know, what they believed in and what was right there for a while, which meant, you know, not supporting super problematic creators. Not only that, but I felt like Morphe, they still continued to rely on like, you know, big TikTokers, where like there's nothing wrong with that. But I think like if you remember like Morphe's origins, they would typically pair up with smaller creators or creators that were more in the medium range, and then they would come up with those creators. You know, they didn't just start pairing with the people that had millions and millions. And I think influencer marketing has really just changed so much over the past like 3 years. Like, I don't know. I don't find myself, I don't trust anything a bigger creator says. There's just been so many bad experiences, and one that we'll talk about later, but you know, I don't know what has happened that has caused them to have no moral compass when it comes to reviewing a product that they know they have an audience they can heavily influence, and you know, those followers will listen to their recommendation and they'll go buy it. So I think that, you know, they just don't have a moral compass when it comes to that. Also, I think that, you know, a lot of people are starting to realize, a lot of the bigger influencers, they use those products one time on camera, they give you their initial thought, and then they recommend it. They don't try it for, you know, a long time, or at least in my experience, they don't try it for a long amount of time and give a recommendation, you know. It's just like, oh yeah, this was nice. And then, you know, you buy it, and then the first impressions, like, okay, yeah, like, first impressions, this is okay. But then you really start to see maybe like the flaws in the product, or, you know, how it could have been geared toward someone else's skin tone maybe a little bit better. So I don't know. For me, I just don't trust bigger influencer marketing, and I'm aware that smaller influencers also can be dishonest and not have a moral compass. I've just had better luck taking recommendations from a little bit smaller creators. Also, Morphe's still putting out those like freaking 30-some pan palettes. Like, I know those were like Morphe's kind of like claim to fame for the longest time, but evolve, baby, evolve. We have not, and I say we as in like the beauty community I'm a part of, has not been into big palettes like that probably since 2020. I would venture to say, like, it has been a minute, and they're just like continuing to put out the same crap. Like, you know, there's only so many monochromatic brown palettes that I can have, and especially when it's not even like a, you know, 12 pan one, it's like a 30-some pan one. I feel like COVID really just changed a lot of people's mindset when it came to, you know, the amount of products they have and buy and own and whatnot. And I think that was when Morphe really should have started like shifting the gear in terms of their product sizing. I do still feel like Morphe has, you know, one of the most fair price points, and that was always like a really big, you know, selling point for me personally, was that it was affordable. But I also just feel like, you know, Morphe over time has always proved to just be problematic, like within, you know, themselves. Not only the people that they collaborate with, but they're also just like a problematic brand in general. And I mean, think of the way that they let all of those employees go, like with no notice or anything like that, especially in this economy, like not giving people any kind of notice to look for another job is just so disgusting to me. Those people have families, like they have bills to pay, and to just, it is just, man, so tone deaf, so like, in my opinion, just morally fucked up. And I mean, it didn't surprise me, because like I said, I mean, sounds like something they would do, but it's still just so disappointing. Like, to be honest, I cannot believe that. Like, I felt so bad for those people. But again, I just think it goes to show like the way that Morphe operates, and you know, they'll do as they see fit and they don't care. So I don't know, if I were you and you support Morphe, I would just be kind of mindful of, you know, giving them their money moving forward, because it's obvious they, you know, they don't even care about their own. which is really just sad to me. But, you know, all of that, I mean, that's all just like my personal feelings and like what I've observed, you know, speculation kind of. Whereas obviously them closing brick and mortar, like they announced that that's happening. I honestly feel like, again, speculating here, the brand as a whole will probably go pretty soon. I don't see the same kind of hype and love for it that there used to be. And I feel like, you know, influencers kind of ruin that too, in the whole era of affiliation and, you know, them not being honest about not only affiliation, but, you know, if the products were good or not, because either way they were going to be able to score a quick buck. Like, I really just feel like they kind of shot their self in the foot, like, you know, pairing with people like that. But tis what it is. I'm going to go ahead and use this Glow Recipe Watermelon Niacinamide Dewdrops. I am actually going to need to rotate this into my basket. This has like a pretty short shelf life. I think it's 6 months. I've had it open for a while. I need to go check and see when I had it open. Just because this is more like kind of skincare-y. So I don't really want a reaction. That's the last thing that I need in my life right now, is a reaction on my face. I just don't think I could. I don't think I could handle it, you guys. I'm not strong enough for that right now. And then I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. Camo Corrector, the peach one. Really been loving this. But yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on Morphe. In my opinion, it's kind of just been a really long time coming. And I think / hope this is kind of the beginning of the end for them. I think that they have hurt a lot of people in a lot of different communities with the way they do business and who they, you know, affiliate themselves with. So bye. They already did, you know, let all these people go so unethically. So I just feel like, you know, I think that they are someone who is going to completely go out of business. I would say in 2023 or in 2024, we will probably see the last of them. I'm just not really sure how they're gonna, you know, come back. And unfortunately, in the beauty world now, well, I guess I wouldn't say unfortunately, but, you know, beauty just isn't as prevalent as I feel like it has been. Like, it's completely changed since like 2016, 2017 to now. It's a whole different game. I feel like it got so oversaturated that it really just burnt the consumer out. Not to mention, you know, right now we're in this time in the world where everything, including just basic living, is so expensive. You have, you know, the beauty products are going up so much. Like, drugstore is getting into that $10 to $20 range. Like, people are really having to make choices on what they want to spend their money on. And I just don't really think that beauty is a big part of that anymore. Which, you know, is fine. I'm also doing my best to be like super mindful of bringing, you know, a lot of new makeup in and finishing makeup. I'm trying to really crack down on my pan over purchase rules. And part of that is, you know, it's just not a priority anymore, and it's so freaking expensive. So I just really want to focus on, you know, enjoying what I have before it goes bad. And, you know, it's just tough out there. You all know. You're normal people too, I'm sure. I'm going to use the NYX Blurr Tint. Bear with me, Blurr Tint. I'm the shade 4 Light and Neutral. It's just like a smidgen deep for me right now, but overall, I mean, it's whatever. But the whole thing with Michaela and lying about, you know, the mascara and wearing falsies and doubling down in the comments, like, I don't want to encourage any kind of bullying or being harsh toward her, and I'm gonna be like, even, you know, just careful with the way that I phrase what I'm saying, because, you know, when people are mean like that, that really affects people's mental health. We do have to realize she is a real person, and, you know, even though what she did was wrong, I'm not surprised, you guys. She, in my opinion, has been someone who is problematic, and, like, I know not everyone keeps up with it, so, like, you may not have been aware before, but, you know, she's always been dishonest, and people have always caught her in lies. And it's like, you know, what is the reason? Just tell the truth, bro. Like, it just feels like, and of course I'm speculating here, that we're, you know, selling out for money or whatever. But, I mean, she used to be a troll. She used to be one of those people in the comments who would tear influencers down for literally no reason. And when I found that out, I was like, ooh, I'm done with you, because, you know, even though I don't support certain creators, I've never made a point to go to their profile and just tear them down. Like, that to me is such disgusting behavior. And she used to be someone who did that, you guys. Before she got big on TikTok, she was a troll. She was someone who would go to people's profiles and just tear them down because they were successful or this or that. Like, you know, it wasn't like, you know, she was defending, like, someone else who was being bullied or anything like that. She was just straight up being a troll. And that to me just kind of felt like, ooh, you might not really be a great person, and your moral compass might be a little whacked out. And that's like when I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. But, you know, I have a TikTok, I have beauty community stuff, and so I see what's going on, and I've seen what's going on with her and what they're now calling Mascara Gate. And I mean, I guess to me, it's just like, it's almost really an insult. Like, it's really just, I think that it is insulting to the viewer. Like, I felt like, do you really think I'm so dumb and uneducated that I wouldn't be able to tell you were lying? Like, you know, that's what it is for me. I'm like, man, so like, what else have you been telling your following and just lying about and haven't gotten caught with? And it's like, you know, nothing against her, but it's just like, I choose to not spend my time watching people like that, because I can't trust them. I don't think we're on the same moral compass page. So I just don't engage in that, and I don't watch that, and I don't go to her page and spew hate comments and get nasty to her, because I don't like that. I just am like, you know what? I am in charge mostly of what I choose to consume, and I am not going to consume her content. So I just block her. And, you know, I know that this whole situation has kind of taken over the algorithm in every way, shape, or form. So I've just stayed off of it, because I don't want to see, even though what I think she did was wrong, I think, you know, she's getting torn down pretty good for it, and I don't want to, like, contribute to that. And I mean, hopefully she learns from this, but, like, at the end of the day, she's never going to get my dollar, and that is all that I can do. And I feel like, you know, that's what you should do. Vote with your money when you can. I understand that can be harder said than done. But that's how I feel about it. And like, I know she's not the only influencer that lies. Like, you know, I talked about this early in the video. A lot of big influencers do lie, you guys. That's why I encourage you to really just try to tune in to some smaller creators and find someone who you feel like you can not only relate to, but someone that has like similar, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm getting distracted because there's big hair in this. A similar thought process as you, like to what you agree with and don't agree with. I know everyone is like different in so many different ways, but you know, to me, someone like blatantly lying to me about a product like that, I take that personally, because working class, we work hard for our money. We do. And when we choose to spend it on something someone recommends, like, it's one thing if it's like, you know, we have different skin types, so it's just not gonna work. It just didn't work for me. That's totally different, and I understand that happens, but going out of your way to use false lashes and then say you didn't is just like a whole nother level of like dishonesty to me. So I don't know. I think that that's what I think about it, you guys. Like I said, I haven't supported her for a while, and that's you know what I've chosen to do about it. I'm just not gonna engage on what she's putting out. Next up, I'm going to use the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette because I want to dip into this blush, one of my favorites. But that brings me to the next person that is reportedly going to resurface, J-Star. Like, what the heck, you guys? I thought we completely closed the door on what that man and what he is selling and what he is doing. He has just hurt so many communities in his, you know, time on the internet, even before his time in beauty, you guys, you know, and we've seen the reporting. There are receipts. It's not, you know, like people are just making this stuff up. There's so much evidence of it, and it's like crazy to me. And to see all the people, like when Michaela was lying about this mascara, all the people being like, this is why Miss Jeffree Star, this is okay. So let's excuse race, yeah, among an abundance of other things, for an honest makeup review. You can find other honest people on the internet that are not him. Like, that to me that was just the most alarming thing to me out of the whole situation. I was like, what is happening right now? Like, why are people even talking to him about him in the comments in any kind of return in any way? I was like, what the fuck? Like, no. Like, and you know what? If you're a J-Star stan, just go. Like, I don't want you here. That one's a hard one. That's a hard no for me. He has just done a lot of harm, and yeah, no. Not into it, man. Not into it. But, yeah, and then he announced, like, he's gonna be returning. And, like, when I'm filming this, he announced it in a week he's going to be returning. I don't really know when this is going to go up. But, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, no. No, no, no. I can't believe it. It's like, almost like, you know, have we learned nothing? Because that's kind of what it seemed like. I was like, we haven't learned anything. Like, what are we doing? I don't know, you guys. Super frustrating, in my opinion, just the way that this is, like, the beauty community is kind of turning within the last couple months. I'm not into it. I'm trying to decide if I want to do that purple on the bottom there, or if maybe like the blue would be kind of fun. Maybe let's do the blue and see what that looks like. This one right here. But I mean, that's also kind of the way that I feel about Jaclyn Hill. Like there's like so much evidence out there like showing that she's just not morally sound, and people still support her. It blows my mind. Like, honestly, I think, speculation here, I think that is why she stole that small business coups from another influencer, was because she knew that Morphe was taking a turn. Because, you know, Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics filed for bankruptcy as well. And, you know, I almost wonder if Jaclyn Hill knew and she was like, I need another source of income. So she's like, I'll just go over here and steal this creator's business. And yeah, just would not surprise me at all coming from her and how she operates, does business, whatever you want to call it. But she's just another one that is it's so disappointing to see people still actively supporting her and what she does and what she endorses. And I'm gonna go ahead and pop off and just finish the final touches, and then I'll be back. Okay, so here is the finished look. My eyebrows are rough today, so I am just gonna need you to ignore those. Finishing touches, I went in with the shade Illusion here, and I just popped that on the inner swoopity and that lower lash line, and as well as my brow bone there. And let's see, what else did I do? Oh, I used the Rare Beauty mascara. I'm currently testing this out. And then for my lips, I used a mixture of the NARS Tinted Lip Balm in the shade Unrestricted and the ColourPop So Juicy gloss thing in Small Talk. I will zoom you guys in so you can get a closer look at the eyes. I do think that they look really pretty. I enjoy the sparkle that they have. I think it's a very pastel moment, but I don't really feel like it looks washed out or anything. I didn't have a hard time with the shadows. What is kind of weird right now is I am experiencing some pilling on my face, which like I have used this quite a bit and I have not experienced that before. So it's either because I used it with a sponge, or I think the more likely culprit is the dewdrops. And like I said, I need to look up to see when I got this, because it is getting on the older side and it has an expiration of 6 months, so maybe that's the culprit. But yeah, I will keep trying to figure out what is going on there, because normally this looks absolutely stunning and I don't have any like pilling or grabbing or anything like that, so I don't know. But yeah, I really love how the look came out. I also really enjoyed just chatting with you guys a little bit about some of the newer things going on in the beauty community as like a whole, and I would love to hear your thoughts on some of these subjects. If you wanted to chat with me about it in the comments, would love that. But yeah, if you're new here, hey, I'm Megan. I post multiple videos per week. I cover all things beauty related. If you liked this video, subscribe before you leave, and give it a big thumbs up as well. But I will see you all in my next video. Bye.